Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. It's been a while since I last uploaded and I'm finally back with a new project I'm passionate to work on. After 2 years of learning Unity and creating multiple projects, I feel like I'm finally ready to make a full game for PC with a couple of hours of gameplay and hopefully release it on Steam. I always liked survival games and making one myself was surely in my plans, so I thought what if I combine some of the games I loved playing and make my own. My first reference is a game from 2014 called The Long Dark. The storyline of the game starts with the main character crashing his plane because of geomagnetic disaster, leaving him alone in the cold, dark forest. The player now must survive the harsh weather conditions by constantly searching for shelter, food and water. The game has some interesting survival mechanics such as fishing, hunting or crafting your own weapons, as well as a very beautiful art style, especially during the nighttime. My second reference is an adventure game from 2018 called Far Lone Sails. In the game you play as a driver of a massive land vehicle with a goal of exploring the remnants of a lost world. The game is based around managing the resources to keep the vehicle going and constantly solving puzzles to clear the road ahead. The vehicle keeps you busy all the time as you have to keep your eye on constantly pressing the start button, adding fuel to the tank, releasing the accumulated steam, or taking stops for collecting fuel. The game has no voice lines, no NPCs, but great art and visuals that convey the story of the game. My last reference is a well-known game released in late 2022 called ChooChooCharles. Now this one is a horror game with the goal of defeating the main antagonist, Charles the Train. And while the storyline and the gameplay doesn't align with mine, I really loved traveling by the train in first person. Driving at night in the cabin of the train has some unique vibe to it which I really like. So take the survival aspect from The Long Dark, the vehicle driving system and the art from Far Lone Sails, and the first person driving experience from ChooChooCharles. You end up with a first person survival exploration game in a huge world where you travel and explore your surroundings by driving the train. Now ignore the visuals, all of these are going to be changed eventually and we will have a beautiful driving train locomotive from the 900s. The problem is that the real train cabins are very small and I'll need to make a custom one to be able to freely move and operate in the cabin. So these are temporary models just to test out the mechanics of the game. I will dive deeper into how the player will drive and maintain the train in the next video, but now I want to focus on introducing the storyline. The game starts with a little cutscene where the player finds himself laying in the snow somewhere in the forest. He feels very weak and has no clue who he is, where he is, or what is he doing there. Next to him is the train locomotive with some severe damage. The character tries to search for some human life to rescue him, but quickly realizes he is alone in the middle of the forest. And the only way to survive is to somehow fix the train and get out of the forest. He collects some train parts from the ground, finds a handbook in the train about how to drive it, and alongside the player learns the mechanics. The train has 2 more wagons attached to it, one with coal and a water tank, and another one that is locked with 3 locks. The character is curious what's inside it, but has no time to waste, so he temporarily fixes the train and starts his journey of finding someone that would help him. The next day of the journey, the character discovers a house in the distance. He is very happy as he finally sees some hope of finding people, but as soon as he arrives, he realizes that the house was abandoned. Even though he is disappointed, he finds some supplies in the house, along with some parts he can use to maintain the train. In the house, the character finds an abandoned diary of a child, where the little girl says how sad she was for having to leave home. Besides, she was very confused as for some reason her father took down and burned all the trees around the house. The character leaves the place and continues his journey. After a couple of days traveling, the character once again sees a construction in the far and another hope of finding human life. The construction turns out to be an old train station, but again as he reaches the place he realizes it's completely empty. The character starts exploring the station and discovers a huge glowing tree growing from the ground. He finds some more supplies, a key that matches one of the locks from the mysterious wagon, and a newspaper where it says that scientists discovered a new species of plants never seen before. I will not reveal the storyline anymore so as not to spoil what's coming after that, but I will try to post devlogs about the game every 2 weeks, or even more frequently to keep you updated. Many of you had some really good suggestions for my other projects, so I'm really hoping to hear your feedback and ideas about this one to implement them in the game. Make sure to join my Discord channel to see more inside content before the video releases and hit the subscribe button not to miss future devlogs. See you in the next one.